In every nation's story, there is a name that speaks louder than monuments, a voice that rises above fear. For Nigeria, that name is Anthony Enahoro, the man who dared to rise in 1953 and demand freedom, not just for himself, but for generations yet unborn. Journalist, politician, prisoner, patriot. This is not just a story of history, it is the journey of a man who moved a nation toward destiny. The journey began in a loose village of Onewa in Uroni, present-day Edo State. Born on July 22nd, 1923, to Anastasius Otutaku Enahoro and Princess Fidelia Iniboku Okoje. Young Anthony was destined for greatness. As the eldest of 10 children, his early life was shaped by tradition, faith, and discipline. He grew up surrounded by values rooted in ascent, mobility, hard work, communal responsibility, and moral uprightness. From an early age, Anthony showed signs of brilliance. His sharp mind and eloquence set him apart, even before he reached his teenage years. He would go on to attend government school Uromi, government school Owo, and finally King's College, Lagos, a prestigious colonial school for the elite. It was there that his consciousness was awakened. In Lagos, under colonial shadows, he began to ask dangerous questions. Why should a foreign crown rule a free people? At just 21 years old, Enahoro became the youngest newspaper editor in Nigerian's history, head of Southern Nigerian Defender, a paper owned by Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe. With fearless ink, he attacked colonial oppression and championed native voices and called for political liberation. Between 1944 and 1953, he edited 6 Comments, West African Pilot, and later The Morning Star, using journalism as a weapon of truth. The British authorities noticed. He was jailed twice for sedition, once mocking a colonial governor, and again for allegedly inciting Nigerian troops in the British Army. But for Enahoro, the jail cell was only a pause in his mission. His writings inspired a generation of nationalists and solidified his place as the voice of conscience in a silenced land. In 1953, Nigeria's parliament, packed with colonial and indigenous lawmakers, held its breath. Then rose a 30-year-old legislator from the action group, Anthony Enahoro, With courage burning in his chest, he moved the first ever motion for Nigerian self-government. His voice echoed that this House accepts a primary political objective, the attainment of self-government for Nigeria in 1956. Pandemonium followed. Northern representatives staged a walkout. The motion failed, but the movement had begun. Nigerians rallied. Youths marched. Newspapers exploded with debate. In 1957, S.L. Akintola tried again. Then Remi Fani-Kayode in 1958. Then finally Sir Abubakar Tafawa Balewa in 1959. On October 1st, 1960, Nigeria gained independence, and the world remembered the man who first led the march, Anthony Enahoro. But Enahoro's journey did not end with independence. In 1950, he co-founded the Midwest Party with Otto Priest, launching the Midwest Press and the Nigerian newspaper. By 1951, he had joined the Action Group, led by Chief Obafemi Awolowo. Enahoro became a central figure in constitutional discussions and political structuring. He was present at most pre-independence constitutional conferences in London, Lagos, and Ibadan. As Nigeria entered the 1960s, he became a force within the federal parliament, sharp, bold, and uncompromising. Nigeria was gripped by the Western region crisis. The Action Group was accused of plotting a coup. Enahoro, among others, was arrested, facing serious charges. He fled to Ghana and then to the United Kingdom. But Nigeria requested his extradition. What followed was international drama. In the British House of Commons, Labour and Tory NFs alike described the move. The Enahoro affair became a debate on human rights versus diplomacy. Despite protests, he was extradited, the first African victim of 1881 Fugitive Offenders Act. He was imprisoned in Nigeria. In 1966, the military coup charged the nation's leaders, and Enahoro was released. Following his release, Enahoro returned to public office under General Yakubu Gowon. He served as Federal Commissioner for Information and Labor, 1967 to 1974. Commissioner for Special Duties, 1975. He also became President of the World Festival of Negro Arts and Culture, 1972 to 1975. Through diplomacy and culture, he worked to position Nigeria as leading Africa voice. Enahoro was more than a politician. He loved sports, especially golf and cricket. He was the first Nigerian national admitted to a golf club. He championed the vision of FESTOC 1977, bringing global black excellence to Nigeria. Muhammad Ali, Pelé, through art, sport, and culture. Enahoro believed a nation could be reborn. His children followed his sporting footsteps, playing rugby, football, golf, and more. His life was not just a political journey, but a celebration of identity. In the 1990s, as dictatorship returned under Sani Abacha, Enahoro rose again as chairman of MADECO. He led the fight for democracy and justice. He later founded the Movement for National Reformation, MNR, and PRONACO, demanding dialogue and national healing. His message remained unchanged. Nigeria belongs to all of us. For these efforts, he was confirmed the Commander of the Federal Republic, CFR, in 1982 and awarded honorary degrees. Enahoro lived a long, impactful life. He was married to Ellen Adia Enahoro, with whom he had 5 children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren. His legacy touched family, friends, politicians, and young Nigerians everywhere. On December 15th, 2010, at the age of 87, Chief Anthony Enahoro passed into history, peacefully and profoundly loved. He was the voice of a generation, the author of Nigerians' freedom motion, the symbol of resistance, reform, and rebirth. His story teaches us that courage doesn't wait for permission. It rises in the face of fear. Chief Anthony Enahoro, may your voice continue to echo through time.